I've tried to record this video 4 times, and I swear if this doesn't work, I'm done for now. As you can tell from the title, this is going to be another gaming video. I just want to clear something up now. When it comes to gaming between casuals and hardcore, I'm straight dab in the middle. I can enjoy any game so long as it's fun and it's not completely derp simple. As long as it has something. I do enjoy the intelligent games, artistic games, games that have more to them than just either killing shit or just doing the most random shit you can imagine, like, never mind. But you get my idea. I don't need to be blown away by every single thing I'm experiencing to say a game is worth my time. I've got a game library that actually has a lot of stuff you probably wouldn't expect me to have. But like here, let me give you an example. These are games that I find to be highly artistic and just smart in general. Games that I wouldn't recommend to a casual gamer, but that I can imagine some hardcore people saying these are the only good games that come. No, get real. Dark Souls, great game. Deus Ex, part of a game franchise I love to death, by the way. And Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. Now I just showed you 3 games that I would never recommend to a casual player, and then a few hardcore gamers would be like, these are the only good games to come out in the last decade. Aside from Shadow of the Colossus, because some people's taste is weird. But here's the thing. I know that from the title of this video, a few of you are probably expecting for me to go on just a binge of saying why hardcore gamers are great and casual gamers are not. But it's actually the opposite. See, something I've been thinking about for a long time is just the whole thing of casual versus elite versus hardcore. And that's simply the notion that hardcore gamers consider themselves to be superior to casual gamers in every single way. That having rooms dedicated to gaming, like being on forums, watching press conferences immediately, keeping up to date on everything, having been born in the NES era, growing up with the NES, being a part of the PC master race and all that other stuff, somehow makes them better than someone who, say, has like 5 games at any given time, plays games that are pretty simple for the most part, like Call of Duty, Gears of War, God of War, stuff like that. That they are somehow better than these people when it comes to gaming just because they've played more games and they know more about gaming in general. Now granted, not all hardcore gamers are like this. I know a few hardcore gamers, and they just have a love for video gaming, quite frankly. And I wish more hardcore gamers were like that. But then you have the hardcore gamers who basically, like, they say all this stuff like, oh, the best games were the old ones, like from the 80s and 90s, or how, like, how any person who enjoys Call of Duty or Battlefield is a mongoloid who basically shouldn't be allowed to procreate. And to them, I have to say this, because a lot of these people are on YouTube, are on Twitch TV, and are on, like, the internet in general. I have to say this to them, because a lot of these people complain, like, almost all the time about this stuff, but you go around whining about how games aren't fun nowadays, and how the best games were back in the day. So I have to ask, why are you still a gamer? Like, why? All the best games were back then, so why haven't you stayed back there and just played those games? I'm of the belief that while the market is oversaturated with games like military first-person shooters and stuff, it's not like the games that these hardcore gamers would like are gone completely. They're just harder to find. If you actually pay attention and keep up to date with stuff, you can find these games pretty darn easily. I mean, I've been building up my library for the past few months, and I've managed to find games that are both entertaining and modern games, by the way, that have also been able to provide everything I need from a game. And yet these people will come onto YouTube and onto Google and basically whine and complain and just rant against video games that are, just for the lack of term, fun. Granted, my very first video was a rant about how the Tomb Raider reboot was a steaming pile of goat manure, but I stand by that because that's just my personal taste, and that's really what it all comes down to. Personal taste. Some people love the heck out of Call of Duty, and these are also gamers, not casuals, yet they can't stand the pretentiousness of Silent Hill. Now, granted, I freaking love Silent Hill, and if anyone tried to badmouth it to me, I'd probably just be like, oh, God, dude, no. But that's my own personal opinion, and that's their personal opinion. To go around calling people who enjoy Call of Duty mongoloids just because they enjoy mindless action is... well, it shows you have a very big ego and you have a very inflated opinion of yourself, to be quite honest. I admit, I get tired of seeing all the hardcore gamers attacking people just because they don't enjoy the Thief games or the Deus Ex games. By the way, Deus Ex games, they're pretty much my favorite games now. But I get tired of seeing that. And likewise, I get tired, and don't get me wrong, I do get tired of seeing people like, oh my God, Call of Duty is like the best game ever. Oh my God, kill Sticky. I get tired of seeing both sides, but I get more tired. That's not even how, I don't even, nah. I become more mentally exhausted seeing hardcore gamers ripping on casual gamers or people who enjoy that kind of stuff, just because of the fact that of this. Yes, a lot of the games on the market nowadays are made for people who don't seem to have a brain fart. But you are correct. A lot of games seem to be built for an audience that doesn't seem to think too much about their games. You are correct in that. But here's the thing. What does a game need to be first and foremost? It needs to be fun. It needs to be entertaining. You have to have fun while you're playing a video game first and foremost. You're not reading a book about, you're not reading Macbeth, and you're not watching Citizen Kane. You're playing something. You're playing. That's the key word, playing. You're immersing yourself in it and having fun with it. If a game is not fun, it's failed. And in that regard, personal taste is the most important thing about it. Some people love certain things, other people hate certain things. But what it really all boils down to is it fun, and does it fit in with your personal tastes? And calling people mongoloids, calling people idiots, calling people names just because they enjoy something, whereas when it comes to that subject matter, you're pretty much miserable all the time, or you just find time to complain about it all the time, it doesn't make you come across as cool. It makes you come across as, well, to be blunt, an entitled douchebag. Do gamers deserve more from companies? Oh, most definitely. We don't deserve to get screwed over on a daily basis by EA and Capcom. But at the same time, we shouldn't really, I don't think we really have much ground to call people who enjoy games like Call of Duty mongoloids and troglodytes either. So, in conclusion, I have a little more respect for casual gamers, because at least casual gamers have fun with a game. And they don't act like pretentious dillweeds like Twin Perfect who feel like they're so superior to everyone else just because they know more about the subject matter. Whereas hardcore gamers, the most extreme hardcore gamers, can't really seem to enjoy something that's made nowadays and always talk about how great the past was. I'm Red Vulture. Out.